Matthew 2, 1-10. Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea during the reign of King Herod. About that time, some wise men from Eastern lands arrived in Jerusalem asking, "Where is the newborn King of the Jews? We saw the stars arose and we have come to worship him." King Herod was deeply disturbed when he heard this, as did everyone in Jerusalem. He called a meeting of the leading priests and teachers of religious law and asked, "Where is the Messiah supposed to be born?" "In Bethlehem of Judea," they said. Then Herod called for a private meeting with the wise men and learned from them the time when the star first appeared. Then he told them, "Go to Bethlehem and search carefully for the child, and when you find him, come back and tell me so that I can go and worship him too." After this interview, the wise men went their way, and the star they had seen in the east guided them to Bethlehem. They went ahead of them and stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were filled with joy.
Day after day, night after night, the star led the wise men across the miles. This was not a star that could only be seen during the night. It was so bright that it could be seen during the day as well. The Bible does not tell us how long the wise men followed the star, but tradition says it was for about 2 years.
You ever wonder why the star did not move directly to Bethlehem? Perhaps the wise men assumed that the king would be in Jerusalem and were easily sidetracked as they went by. But it is true that in this way, the religious leaders in Jerusalem were told of the Messiah's birth. If only they had believed that different things might have been.
And when the star which they saw in the east went before them till it came and stood over where the young child was. And so the star opened the door for the world to know Christ, both the rich and the poor and the people of all nations.
bearing precious gifts to the one whom they knew to be the greatest king of all time. Again, we must turn to tradition for details, since the Bible is not specific. Tradition says that there were 3 of these wise men in one story that has been coming from different nations and of different races. There are many tales of these men, but we do know that they were scholars and that they were very wealthy and they brought expensive gifts. We also know that somehow they have learned to know the true God and to believe in the coming of the Messiah. How strange these men must have felt, kneeling not in a palace, but before a child in a humble peasant's home. Somehow they understood that this was not just another baby, that he was indeed the king.
A gift of gold I brought to the Christ child. Gold symbolizes kingship. I gave this precious gift to pay homage to one high authority. Incense was symbolic of the deity of Christ. It was a type of incense burned in the Holy of Holies of the temple. By presenting such a gift, I acknowledge that Jesus is truly the Son of God.
The third gift was myrrh. Mary and Joseph must have thought this is a very strange gift to bring to a child, for it was used in embalming a body for burial. But God had revealed to us that Jesus must die to redeem a lost world, and I give the myrrh in recognition of this fact.
How did the wise men feel as they started their long journey homeward? I'm sure they talked much of the wonderful child they had seen. They wondered about the dream which had sent them on a different route. Returning home, they, like the shepherds, must have eagerly told their friends and neighbors about the